Deserux. My goodness, gentlemen, he's a new player. He's quiet, he's soft-spoken, but he delivered the results, and he had some pretty impressive teammates.
I'm just gonna say, as much as I like that interview, I feel like I need really big meme there, RBM, in the middle between you two, because that is the person, if you saw the old Hunter Thieves Next interviews, that's the person that was always egging on bigger answers to come out of Array. He just kind of low-key trash talks better answers out of him, but it's always fun to see him when he's a part of interacting with Array.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Array's always been soft-spoken, but I think he's got a heck of a story, and I'm really excited he made Academy. For people that don't know, this is his second year playing competitively, and he kind of had to make the choice about like going to school, bagging groceries, or doing this, and the fact that he's making it work, really impressive. So hope we get to hear more about that story one day from Array. But hey, good start for GG2O, and we'll see him next week.
Absolutely. On to the next one. Our next match of the day is going to be Team Liquid taking on FlyQuest Academy. Team Liquid Honda, I should say. Academy, yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. Even with the FlyQuest loss, I still think this is going to be a banger of a match, potentially. But let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup here for Team Honda. These are quite a hot bunch of players, gentlemen. They have been doing quite well.
I'm excited. And, you know, the first match, we had a little bit of fun with that game, too. It was over pretty fast. We got to turn things around. This is a very, very exciting matchup between what we really believe is our top team in Academy and FlyQuest, who could potentially be one of the challengers, who have been on a bit of a slide. We'll talk about them later as Team Liquid. They've picked up right where they left off. They've been fantastic to start off this summer.
Yeah, they've been performing really well. Only had some slip-ups here and there, but otherwise it has been consistent performance, pretty much firing on all cylinders for Team Liquid. They are pretty much the top of the ladder when it comes to challenging, as they are the returning defending champions for Proving Grounds. So, Team Liquid, this is a big team to take down.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we do have a few words before we get into the oppositional roster. Ayla definitely had some thoughts on his competition.
I don't mind. I like versing Diamond sometimes. He sort of plays a more aggressive style in lane. Plays a lot of enchanters, so it's always fun to verse him.
All right, looking forward to it. I think that both of these supports, they've been playing in Academy for a bit. I think that Diamond's had a really good start to the split, and Ayla is still considered by many the top dog in Academy. So the fact that he's, calling out Diamond, respecting his ability to, lead his team, but also how he plays in the game, really good to see. And I think it's a fun one, because the last time we saw these two teams it was in the upper bracket of Proving Grounds, and it was an 0-2 for FlyQuest, but they did challenge Team Liquid, especially in some of the mid games. So I'm really curious to see if FlyQuest can do that again today.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up that roster alongside Diamond. The rest of the squad, certainly no slouches for FlyQuest Academy. And honestly, I think there's a lot to like on this roster, despite the results from yesterday. They have been doing quite well.
Yeah, they've had a rough week this week, but their previous performances have all been pretty solid. The 2-0 against Immortals showed a lot of the prowess that you can get out of FlyQuest as a whole and everything they've been able to bring. We were talking a little bit about Diamond over in that bottom lane. To bring him up once again, just Diamond, a lot of the play we've been seeing out of him has been incredibly intelligent when it comes to the draft and deciding out some of his picks. He's not afraid to try out new things, right? Like he had brought out the Aphelios Janna counter as a counter to Callista Renata, as well as pulling out the Taric that we had seen against Golden Guardians. He's a fun support to watch.
I really like the Janna read, actually. I thought it was a really, really good read into the Callista Renata. And also paired up with Tomo, that Aphelios is 5-0. And I think that's one of the issues that FlyQuest have faced in this week, is I think that because FlyQuest have been performing so well on a few champions, teams are starting to take those champions away from FlyQuest, and we haven't really seen them adopt yet. The two of them that are very notable, Tomo's Aphelios 5-0, Spyrax is here also 5-0.
It could be a little bit troubling if they don't find additional champions to find some success on, right, gentlemen? What would you like to see them play in particular, or do you just think they just need to find more answers?
I like oftentimes with teams, you find, especially early on in the season, what you are comfortable winning with, and then you go from there. And so I think that it just could be one where maybe they've had a few games get unlucky. Maybe they just haven't been able to, quite find a few wins or enough wins. But It's not something I'm really concerned about. I have faith that FlyQuest will turn it around as things move on. They just need to, kind of find what works for them.
Fair enough. Now, on the A-list side, of course, we're seeing a little bit of why we hype up this player as well. Obviously, not the only player on Liquid, but definitely has a pretty solid impact. One of those players make Renata Glass Cork, too.
Some of the pathing that you see come out of Ayla, I say pathing like it's a jungler, but some of the routes you see come out from Ayla with these high-value teamfight ults, like Renata, for example, the hostile takeover, is incredibly smart, plays to the fog of war well, utilizes vision well, and sets up these game-breaking teamfights.
Absolutely. Now, we are getting ready to get into our game for this one, but I do want to talk a little bit more about some of the other players on the roster because we focus so heavily on the bottom side. Keep in mind, FlyQuest Academy, they did pull a bit of a swippy swap in that top side because Kumo comes down from LCS, Philip goes up to Academy. Up to LCS. What's the big change for all of you guys with that top swap, especially?
Yeah, so ever since Kumo's hopped in, FlyQuest have been a 500 team. And I think for the side of Kumo, we've seen some games where I feel like he somewhat gets lost on the map, and some other games where he is just 1v9 carried on some of the champs that he was really good at on the big stage, specifically some of the Tryndamere. I know we have a couple clips to talk about Kumo, struggling a little bit, and I think that for the side of Kumo, it is a really big piece for FlyQuest because they oftentimes do play through that bot lane. So you have to be rock solid, especially in isolation as a top laner. Something that Philip really figured out with his team. I think Kumo's figured it out a lot for the laning phase, but sometimes in the mid game we see Kumo make a few slip-ups we actually didn't see out of Philip. And I might be one of the reasons that FlyQuest made the swap. So, yeah.
Well, we'll see if they're able to correct some of those things or if Team Liquid are going to find the victory in game number 1. We're about to find out, though. We're loading up into Champs Select. Take it away, Cubby and Desmond.
All right, Team Liquid Honda versus FlyQuest Academy. Now, this one, you were just talking about Kumo a little bit. I do like the way he's been slotting in with the team. There has been some growing pains, but he has been a good mid-game team fighter for this squad.
I really like Kumo when he's on split push or side lane duty, but I do think, fortunately, we didn't have time for the clips. I could kind of talk about or have more evidence behind some of my criticisms of Kumo so far. But hey, I'd rather be right in the champ select anyway. Keep the games rolling here on the mainstream Desrex. And of course, this is a very exciting matchup. It's lost a little bit of gas this week as FlyQuest are 1-3. Did get 0-2'd yesterday by CLG. Dropped a game to EGA. FlyQuest have dropped sporadic games to some of our bottom tier teams, but it feels like it's really starting to push into, I guess, come to fruition this week. But hey, FlyQuest at 1-3. They have a great chance to still end their week on a high note if they are able to take a game or two against our top dogs. And we'll see if they're up to the task today.
And I fully believe that FlyQuest can still be competitive against Team Liquid Honda, even with TL having the better regular split thus far. FlyQuest dropping a lot of the sporadic games has been to just straight up experimenting. Like the Golden Guardians loss, that was when Diamond pulled out Taric. Pulling that down there. So we'll see if they've been able to learn a lot of lessons from those drafts and what they can utilize coming into Team Liquid as we do get through the first phase of bans. A lot of jungler bans coming through, taking away that Tryndamere, not going to let Kumo play it. This leaves the Zeri up, and Jan feels quite comfortable on that champion.
So this is curious because Jan, of course, did have that initial clip from Zeri go viral. He's a very, very good Zeri player. But I will say, I think that with all the bot laners left up, if any bot lane is going to be able to play into Jan Zeri, it is FlyQuest. And it looks like they're going to get Lucian Nami, which is a lane that can bully push around Zeri, especially early. And there is no Lulu available. So I am expecting, or I should say there's no Yuumi available, so I am expecting a Lulu here from the side of Awa to try and neutralize the Nami. You could trade the shield for the heals, at least in the trades, and at least keep Zeri a little bit safer. We'll see if that is the call for Team Liquid. And also Armeo, with both Wukong and Volibear taken off the table, I would not be surprised to see an early Viego here.
Hovering onto the Renata. Okay. Lucian, Nami for FlyQuest. Aggressive, pushing lane, lots of lane dominance. You were talking about Jan being on the Zeri and the viral play that we had seen at the beginning of the year. Don't forget, we had a very, very short game that just unfolded from Team Liquid Honda, which ended up being 18 minutes 37 seconds against Immortals, and a lot of that was due to Jan being on the Zeri.
Yeah, we'll ignore the next game where he actually got destroyed in lane by Arrow's Twitch. But yeah, Jan Zeri, it is very good. But again, playing into FlyQuest, you do have to deal with that Lucian Nami. It's a very strong lane, especially early. And I think we also have to mention Spyrax's Azir. He is 5-0 on this champion. He's picked up 5 of the 9 wins on this champ for the side of FlyQuest. And this is what he first made a name for himself on. He's been so good on the champion. He has an 8.7 KDA on the Azir so far this season. And we'll see if Harry's up to the task of taking it down.
So with that locked in, this does give the bot lane as well as the mid lane for FlyQuest Academy a lot of scaling with that Azir, and of course the lane dominance of the Lucian Nami bot lane combo. Returned by Team Liquid Honda is going to be that all too familiar Viego that Armeo has played so many times. I believe it's his most played jungle as far. No, it's getting up there though. Wukong still staying into that #1, as well as the bot lane duo of Zeri and Renata over in the bot lane, as the next bans do come through. I'm going to take away the Graves, the Corki, and the Yone. One more ban before we get the first pick from FlyQuest.
I really like the Yone ban against Harry. He's 3-0 on the champ, and Harry on melees, I feel like, is he's a very talented melee player when it comes to a lot of the champions. I think he's just naturally talented when it comes to those. Yone was one of them. So we'll see what Harry wants to go for. That LeBlanc is still available for him if he does so choose to go for one of his signature champs, as FLYA actually taken away by Bradley into Kumo. So I'm expecting to see a jungler locked in here. FLYA tells me that Bradley might be going for a tank, and UG will opt into that Lee Sin Viego matchup we've seen so many times. His Lee Sin, not one to scoff at either. And we'll see if UG can make the plays necessary to set Team Liquid behind early.
Man, Cubby, we got a lot of good Lee Sin players in Academy.
Yes, we do.
XU, who else do we got who's a strong one?
I don't know, man. We haven't seen Shaden's yet. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Will, seen some good things from him, as this would be very curious. Okay, not going to be the Zillion. Instead, going to be the Gangplank. Seeing that Trinimir ban, first 3, that kind of signified to me that Bradley was looking at Gangplank later. Worth noting, Bradley, in his career, 12-0 on the Gangplank. So he has yet to drop a game competitively, playing Gangplank, taking it into Kumo this game. We'll see what the answer is for Kumo, as this would be spicy, and it is spicy. Xerath locked in for Harry. Okay.
Xerath into Spyrax's Azir. Harry gonna take that matchup into the mid lane. Team Liquid Honda finishing out their draft with a very, very spicy pick on that one, Cubby.
Okay, I feel like Ornn, it's bad in isolation for the lane matchup against Bradley, but actually really good against Xerath. It just gives you a way to engage on it. I don't mind this from the side of FlyQuest, but I gotta talk about Xerath, because we've yet to see Xerath. Xerath has been getting like buffs slowly, like further and further up. If he gets ahead of the power curve at all, even in the durability patch, his damage is still insane. And if you do not deal with Xerath, he can shred your team. And this is a historical counter to Azir, because you outrange Azir by a lot. If he goes for the Stream of Shuffle, you can stun him in the middle of it. They've been playing it all the way back. I remember Season 5 when Azir was pretty new to the Rift. Xerath was a big counter, especially in LCK, where GBM was playing Xerath. And he said in the interview, he would study his opponents to see which way they dodged to better guess with Xerath in-game, as he was the best Xerath player in the world. Nice. This guy was crazy. And Harry gonna pull it out. We have yet to see it in Academy this split, so I'm really excited to see if this works. I can see the theory. I think it's good.
All right, a fresh new pick. Harry gonna bring that Xerath into Spyrax. Now, there is still a lot you got to worry about when it comes to FlyQuest, though, because UG is on that Lee Sin, and at least stat-wise, Lee Sin has been a very, very impactful early game champion for early neutrals and really early skirmishing altogether. I'd imagine he would want to play around the bottom side of the map, both towards Spyrax and Tomo and Diamond, especially considering Tomo and Diamond taking that lane-dominant Lucian and Nami.
Also worth noting, you do have gank assist top with the Ornn early. So UG has a lot of options for him. Blowing flash from Xerath is big. You can punish him if his flash is down. See what the plan is for FlyQuest.
So, we're ready to hit the rift now. FlyQuest versus Team Liquid Honda. Now headed on to the Rift for this one, which this is going to be a pretty big matchup right here. Both of these teams were near the top of the standings at separate times. Now Team Liquid standing there a little bit more dominantly alongside 100 Thieves onto that one. So FlyQuest looking to fight their way back into that standing.
All right. Worth noting, Spyrax is going to opt for the Comet. So that helps match some of the poke damage, but will fall behind in gold to the first strike from Harry's Xerath. Again, I did say, if Xerath gets ahead of the power curve at all, he's massive. Xerath has huge AP ratios. I mean, the weakness, obviously, is that if you don't have Flash, he's very vulnerable. So Harry will have to be careful about that. But with First Strike, you have priority in this lane. You have range. You can sustain mana with Xerath's passive, which was also buffed recently. I really want to see what Harry can do. Because, again, this is a pick that I have felt like Xerath could be played for a long time. I even felt like Xerath Nami could have been a thing in the bot lane. And picking it into Azir and against a rather low-range composition, the only thing he really has to worry about is Ornn plus Tidal Wave. And you can dodge that out with Flash. So Harry's Flash could be a really important cooldown to track this game. But we'll see what he can do on this champion.
This will be a lot of fun. I want to see the fancy feat. That's what I want to see coming out from other players on the side of FlyQuest. Can you dodge out that ultimate when it starts raining down from above? Only time will tell when Harry does hit level 6. But now getting into the jungle pathing, looking at both Yuji and Armeo. Armeo has been one of the smartest junglers ever to be in Academy. Really tracks his opposing junglers so well and really plans his laning as best as he can to where that pathing is going. So he's going to take a match route against Yuji onto this one.
Last split, I got the privilege of sitting in with Team Liquid during one of their scrims before Proving Grounds while I was in LA. And the amount of conversation that Armeo really encourages from his team and also leads as really the main shot caller, especially in the early game, is very impressive. We'll see if Armeo can continue that against Yuji again. Both these junglers actually have a lot of respect for each other. Yuji said earlier this week he's really looking forward to trying to take down Armeo. And Armeo, if you ask him who the better junglers in Academy are, he will always say Yuji. As, again, a lot of respect shared between these two. And Yuji trying to get the best of him today. He said it in an interview in pre-show as well. You we're catching up there. The true Academy fans tune in the pre-show. Always love that. And hopefully you're tuning into this match because this is an exciting one. And we'll see who can get the first move off as Armeo. Skipping over 2 camps. We'll be playing for this bot crab. We'll come up empty, but should track Yuji going to the top side here.
This is a pretty standard play out of Armeo. He goes for this often where he will only partially clear his jungle, and then on match jungle pathing, try and beat the opposing jungler to any position if he needs to duel them out or take the Scuttle Crab. So again, Armeo trying to read out the pathing coming out from Yuji, making sure he's the first one to the crab. Yuji shows up late, but does get a sonic wave onto Armeo. It's just a parting goodbye as they deal damage to each other.
Yuji, with that, actually, I love this. We'll be able to guess that Armeo is going to go to his Krugs. Did win out on that trade, so getting some counter jungling in, delaying that crab. Really like this from Yuji. I think it is also worth highlighting that we do see Xerath under tower early. I swear he gets pushed and wins this matchup later. You cannot match the push of Azir in the first few levels. So Harry is going to need, I believe... Oh, God, what's the break point? I think it's level 7 when Xerath starts to get really good push. I think that's when you can QW the backline creeps. Things get a lot better for you.
I do like this from Yuji. Knowing that Armeo was there so early, beats him to the punch on the Raptors, will be able to secure his own Scuttle Crab. Not going to get double scuttled, and now going for the invade on top of it. Gets a deep ward onto there to spot out some of the pathing that's been taken by Armeo. He spots the Gromp respawning, so knows exactly where Armeo is going to be going.
Yeah, usually we'll get the reset to get the standard pickaxe and can clear top to bottom. So Yuji, while it was a creative early game path to get bot and protect both his buffs early, it's going to be pretty standard from here on out. Only thing that he loses out on is if you full clear, you have a respawn Krugs and Raptors right now. Not the case for Yuji. It is the first. The big thing is that if you're jungling, it's about getting to the Raptor respawn now for Armeo. If you can take those away, that's when the early path from Yuji will really pay off. So I'm really curious to see if Yuji and Spyrax end up making a play for that. As you can see, Harry actually getting peppered really nicely here by Spyrax, as Harry might be forced to back off. TP back. So Spyrax doing some good work in the lane. But Armeo hanging around will be enough for Harry to feel comfortable to approach this.
So Armeo just hovering over there. Harry clears the wave. Now the focus towards the bot side. Yuji will be pathing there soon, but Armeo, with the route he's taken and the clear speed he's had, will be the first one to the punch. And they're just waiting for the FlyQuest bot lane to pull the trigger right here. It is a Lucian Nami.
Ooh.
One bubble is all it really takes to get an engage going. But biding his time down into the bot lane. No engage going to be had for the FlyQuest.
Good news for Harry. Was able to get a lost chapter. That's really big for the Xerath. From here on out, Xerath should feel pretty good in this lane. As mana no longer a big issue. And he's level 6, has a lot of damage. Spyrex doing a nice job of sidestepping, though. And we will see. I think a big plan for Team Liquid. The fact that you do win mid-push. Once you hit 7 on Xerath. Will be a play for the Dragon. And we can see FlyQuest right now. Yuji did just wrap up his second clear. Starting to look around for the Dragon. As he's not able to find Armeo. Potentially setting up around this mid lane. And we'll see if they can get Harry's flash. That's the big cooldown that both Spyrex and Yuji are trying to find.
Tough one to lock down. Harry's not exactly going to be the aggressor in a lot of these exchanges unless he's sitting all the way far back and just poking. So Yuji having to give up that 10 setup over towards the mid lane. Instead, just going to recall empty-handed.
While the CS is even bot, looks like FlyQuest have finally won the war of attrition. As Tomo is going to crash a wave. Yon's not showing yet. He's trying to wait till Tomo bases, but will show late. Dropped a bonus creep or two. If that is a small wave that's crashing, it is not. It's a cannon. So Yon's going to have to base. So a little bit of a lead for the bot lane of FlyQuest. Not as big as they would like, though, in this draft.
Very slow game onto this one. Both of these teams usually play pretty well with their early leads. So being very careful to not give up too much to the others in these early stages, as you are going to get 2 plates going over to Kumo on that top side.
Yeah, that's a big win for FlyQuest. We haven't looked at this top lane a lot, as it's been mostly in isolation. Bradley actually burned the cannon barrage to delay Kumo's recall. It will help Bradley catch up a little bit, as he will be able to crash that wave. But Kumo doing a very nice job in this lane, beating out expectations for the Ornn Gangplank matchup at the moment.
Armeo towards the bottom lane. Yuji's in this area. Doesn't realize Armeo's over there, so just...
It's free.
Yeah, free grab right there. I mean, with the recall that came out of Kumo,
wow.
We're now seeing why the cannon barrage went out.
Yeah, this is really good. Good signs from TL. As I know in that series against C9 where they dropped a game, Bradley really messed up the Rift Herald play. He went for a trade while Team Liquid were trying to stall out the Herald to C9 so Yon could win bot. The fact that he just delayed a recall, that was enough to get Rift for free. As Yuji will answer by taking the bot side away from Armeo. This is the best move that Yuji can make. So again, a good counter from FlyQuest. And we will see if he finds the Viego.
He's going to bump into him. Has Dragon's Rage.
Oh, Ayla's here. Good for Ayla.
Ayla showing up. Harry showing up.
Yeah.
Yuji not following through. Did get the red buff, though. Armeo still the better one with the pathing, utilizing his lanes better to grab that Rift Herald from earlier. Yuji going to try and sneak a Dragon off of this one. Having lane priority towards the bottom lane. Ayla going to push back in. Yon getting involved. But Tomo and Diamond just holding the line.
And I gotta say, for FlyQuest, some of the games they faced Team Liquid in when it came to proving grounds, they did face them in the upper bracket, where Team Liquid, they knocked them out in a 2-0 in a rather close series. It was humongous leads early from TL. And I think that FlyQuest comp, they are built more for the early stages. You have a Lucian Nami against Zeri. Also, Xerath able to match more now than he is later when it comes to this matchup. Or I should say Azir into Xerath, the Azir side. You can match now, whereas later it gets to be a problem. But it's still a good sign for FlyQuest, the fact they are able to hang with TL in the early games. That was not the case. They had to wait for the mid-game fights where they had Philip grouping on a tank. As, oh boy, Diamond.
Engage onto Diamond, he flashes out of the hostile takeover, but Armeo will claim first blood on the FlyQuest. Tomio
too easy.
Trying to get out, but will be able to escape. Team Liquid nonetheless getting that first blood up there. Como looking to even up the score. Flashes on Bradley, and in the 1v1, Kumo will get a solo kill.
And Bradley, man, he's losing out big as Kumo, again, I said that Kumo's landing has been fine. I was really asking for Kumo to step up and kind of figure out where he is on the map in the later stages for the side of FlyQuest. But he is destroying Bradley's Gangplank. Again, has never lost a competitive game. 12-0 on this champion. Kumo nuking this lane when Gangplank historically considered a counter to Ornn. Kumo is getting the best of it, hands down. Let's take a second look at the bot lane. Armeo was debating whether or not to base. Answer never was to base, as Tomo and Diamond.
Man, did he slip through on the Flog of War?
Yep.
Man,
All they needed.
Sneaky from Armeo on that.
Rock solid jungler, Armeo, as control jungler, fitting really to what TL has always had in their system. Think about him and Santorin, two of the best junglers when it comes to keeping things under control. It's back to live. We actually have a full bot lane swap going out. This heavily benefits TL. They're far ahead in the play. Already have 2 plates funneled over to Yon, and Shelly will funnel 2 more.
Now watching for Spyrax right now, but Harry also maneuvering up. Spyrax getting a little bit of that poke that's coming out from Harry Xerath.
You can
Already
start
feeling
to see
that
it.
in the early stages.
Xerath, the thing about Xerath too is that he scales so hard. Like his Q, 0.85 AP ratio. W, 0.6. Even the E, 0.45. And then the ult, of course, you get 3, 4, 5 actions with the 0.45. He scales so hard just from having ability power. So Luden's already for Xerath. You can see how strong he is. Second item, expect to be something like a Shadow Flame. That's likely what we're seeing. But Xerath, if he connects with any of the squishies in the side of FlyQuest, he will force them off objectives, and it is, again, all about control, buying space for Yon to just scale up through these team fights for the side of TL. Whereas for FlyQuest, it's about dealing with Harry Xerath, because if Xerath isn't dealt with, he will shred the team.
So now going for the play into the bottom lane, just with the culling. He's still going to jump forward. Tomo looking for more. Ultimate going to be popped. Diamond gets caught with the hostile takeover. Takes another pop coming out from Harry, but look at the chase from Yon and Ayla. Bradley gets the kill with the cannon barrage. Now Yuji trying to make FlyQuest find a win in the bottom lane. Gets the kick. Dragon's Rage all too easy.
That's clean.
Clean up play coming out for FlyQuest bot.
And I love to see the answers, but again, I favor TL. They're getting gold on the better carries, and poor Tomo Diamond, they thought they were opting into a 2v2. It was a 2v4. As both ultimates came in from the TL solo laners to help turn that one around. But Yuji still found a good response onto Bradley. And still trying to be a pest against Armeo. There's a good sidestep there.
The wave's getting shoved in. Looking for the dive. Here comes the teleport, though. Gonna be burnt out of Bradley, who's coming down to this bot lane to make sure Armeo's not going to fall. Kumo and Yuji were both stalking that dive. Are they going to do it?
They're thinking about it.
They're really thinking about it.
Bradley's really far behind.
Oh, Bradley, no.
You know, maybe one of the reasons Bradley's so far behind in this is because it's first strike Gangplank. Usually you see Grasp. She didn't catch its first strike, as he will clear out the wave, but at what cost?
No Dragon's Rage, but you can get the knock up onto the turret. Kumo utilizing that. It's going to burn a flash out of Yuji, but it's still a kill nonetheless, and it sets Bradley so far behind. 1-3-0. How do you come back from this, Cubby?
It does, but honestly, for FlyQuest, it's not super worth it. The only thing it really helps them with... Okay, they're going to get Dragon. All right, they get Dragon. It's worth. That's fine. I was about to say that Kumo couldn't stick around to farm the wave. So it's actually bouncing back into TL right now. And Bradley should be able to pick it up when he gets back. But on the side of FlyQuest, they do cash out on the Dragon. That's well worth it. Down 1.5k gold, but with 2 Dragons. Still a rather close game here at SRX. But again, all eyes really have to be on Harry in this one. Because if Harry is able to do what Xerath can do, if he is not bothered, he really can take over this game against the squishies of FlyQuest. As there's 4 members and 3 high-value members that Xerath Poke can make a huge difference on. And Harry is keeping pace, and therefore with First Strike is accelerating in this one. So he's going to be a big problem.
Team Liquid sieging up over on this top side. You got to be careful about the siege over here. Spyrax being on the Azir. It's a champion he's good at, but the Emperor's Divide, if you get pushed into the tower, could be the end right there. We have had hiccups in the past where Ayla and Jan and Harry, both being mispositioned, getting caught out. So gotta watch out for that. We'll see what Team Liquid do here, as they are in prime position to take this Rift Herald, but FlyQuest looking for a response right now. They will secure it. Kumo still wants the fight, though. Call the Forge God going to go out, only gets a knock-up onto one. Does get a lockdown onto Jan. Tidal Wave going to cut the escape route for Jan. As Cannon Barrage goes out, Team Liquid looking to turn this one around. Poppin' Diamond. Jan flashes right on out. Another pop of the ultimate coming out from Harry. And FlyQuest are going to run. Team Liquid, Honda, they turn the fight in an instant.
And you could see the game plan for TL. It is just kite out, make sure the Zerath's safe, and then all the damage over the top of FlyQuest. It's so tough for them to deal with. If the engagement call of the Forge God doesn't connect, they do not have an answer.
Thought Yuji was looking for something. Did have Dragon's Rage up. Potentially thinking about getting that kick. High at risk right there. You can't have the Lee Syndrome, Cubby. Get the Q. Do you play it right after? Do you just pop it right after? Taking another look at that play that happened over at the Rift Herald. You know, it was a pursuit coming out for FlyQuest, trying to find the fight, but once everything was burnt, it was the tournament.
It's not a bad idea to do this into the choke, but again, look at how many stalling tools TL have. The hostile takeover, into the cannon barrage. FlyQuest can just never approach Team Liquid. And because of that, Harry, left to his own devices, able to pump out a lot of damage. Now, the big part about that fight, Harry did burn Flash. So I really want to see FlyQuest on the back half of this. Make fast plays. Utilize this Shurima Shuffle. Utilize the Lee Sin kick. Try and get Harry to hop out of position as Yuji. That connected.
Ooh, jumping right over. Dragon's Rage onto Jan. Yuji just changes targets. Jan now on the run. Gets knocked up by the call of the Forge God. Kumo's locking him down. And suddenly FlyQuest, they find a high value target, but Harry scores one right back.
I love seeing how people have adapted the Aura mechanic. It was first seen by Kingen and LCK. We can flash to catch up with the call of the Forge God. We saw it from Seoul and Academy. Kumo doing it there. I don't know if it was super worth it, but still fun seeing these players get creative. And speaking of creativity, Yuji actually going for Jan. They were able to take down a high-value target. So FlyQuest, at least they're making plays on the Zeri, trying to make some plays on these big carries. Gonna take a second look as Yuji, it's big time.
Yeah, who needs a ward hop when Armeo becomes the ward for Sonic Wave to set up that kill onto Jan?
Yeah, and that's the flash forward from Kumo. And honestly, I think that is worth it because he was able to get over that wall. If he doesn't flash forward there, he would have been stuck behind the wall and no one could really follow up on the Zeri. So I think that's what nets the kill for him. So creative use of flash. Love to see players adapt once they see something happen in the competitive game. Everyone's trying to pick it up. Really good there from Kumo. And we will see if, again, upcoming or leading up to this dragon, Harry does not have flash. Look out for Yuji. Look out for Spyrax. Both of these members of FlyQuest have flash. They have to find Harry if FlyQuest want a chance to win.
FlyQuest trying to take down the reigning defending champions in Team Liquid Honda. Setting their pieces onto the map as the dragon spawns within the next 50. Gonna look to gather vision. Still only 18 minutes into this, FlyQuest are setting up a dragon win con as they've grabbed the first 2 dragons of this game. But the gold, relatively even in the grand scheme of things. FlyQuest with the inside track get a lot of deep vision. Team Liquid Honda just holding the mid lane and trying to utilize that poke that Harry has. A little bit landing on the Spyrax.
And I know that a lot of people like to meme on the NA Rams that we have in NA. I think the FlyQuest actually had to show up this early if they want to try and deny river access to the Zerath. If Zerath gets in river, the dragon fight's over. You cannot beat Zerath there unless you're able to find a flank. And Kumo doesn't have TP available until now. But Shelly might turn the tides of things as TL have the fast track to mid. And if FlyQuest want this dragon, they're going to have to at least give up the mid outer and turret and maybe more for this. Oh boy, here we go. It's not on Harry though.
No flash on Jan. No flash on Harry. FlyQuest, if they can get onto that target, would be big.
Oh man, they couldn't do it.
Shelly goes off at the charge. FlyQuest are getting cut now. Chased away. The poke is starting to add up. Tomo, half health. Spyrax, half health. Still got your front line. Another one landing on the Spyrax. It's going to force out the recall. He does have teleport, so he can get back fast. Ayla, more poke coming out. And FlyQuest, before they can even get to the fight, they're already low.
And again, if Call of Forge God isn't sound, If FlyQuest cannot follow up on that, they cannot find engages. Oh, here we go.
Oh, a Dragon's Rage comes out, going on to Yan, but Yan hops over the wall. Tidal Wave running right through. Kumo starting to run low, so is Tomo, and Armeo will run him right down. Yan staying alive, and there it is, the bailout bails out Yan alongside Ayla. It's a big win coming in for Team Liquid Honda.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already know, man, this is why we're so damn excited about Ayla as a player. The engage onto the Zeri, Ayla single-handedly turns this around in favor of TL as they aren't done yet. They're looking for Kumo.
Looking for Kumo, not going to find him. That's okay. It was a tank. You killed out all the targets you needed to in that last fight. Team Liquid Honda grabbing the mid lane tower on top of it. So much picked up by Team Liquid, and it all started with
Just
this
watch
poke onto FlyQuest. And of course, Ayla with that counter engage.
Immediately cast the ult. Like, as he's hit with Sonic Wave, he knows they're going after Yan, and this enables Yan to get over the wall. And now watch Ayla go save his buddy and Yan. As, the bailout. Yan makes it connect. What a play from the supportive team, Liquid. As his Renata, it was the reason they won Game 5 against 100 Thieves Academy. He had a 5-man hostile takeover. To see him, again in summer, making big plays on this Renata. It's sometimes tough to highlight support so much, but Ayla is always one we're highlighting for reasons just like that. His ability to play the Enchantresses, to play the Engagers. Doesn't matter what he's on, he is damn good. Good to see him showing it in this big game.
Great performance out of Ayla with that hostile takeover. And FlyQuest now starting to feel the pressure, given the state of the game. They didn't get Tomo and Diamond to dominate as definitively as they wanted into that bottom lane. Spyrax didn't even really get to do much against Harry in the mid lane with that Xerath pick. And while he found some of that impact towards the top side, you know, it is a tank, and it is a Lee Sin that falls off in the mid lane.
And just watch Harry. As 2-0-2. Has a Shadow Flame. The damage he's going to be pumping out is just going to be so filthy. As
will land on the Tomo? Nope. Won't land on the Tomo. Tomo gets out the calling, but the ultimate will. Another pop. Harry's absolutely disgusting. Hostile takeover will land onto Yuji, and now Team Liquid will pursue FlyQuest, chasing them into their base. The chunk of damage coming out from Harry. Oh, man, that is gross.
It is just living hell for Azir and Lucian. You are against Gangplank, you are against Xerath, you are against Zeri. These W's over the wall have been critical for helping TL connect with all the poke too. And there's nothing that FlyQuest can do. I mean, if these Call of the Forge Gods are not sound, you cannot fight. And there is too much peel on the side of TL for them to fight. Desrex? Lost for words.
I'm trying to figure out.
I thought I lost you there for a sec.
No, still alive in this one. I'm just looking at the gold lead. 6K.
I lost you for a whole day, and now I have PTSD. That's it.
It's all right. I'm not leaving any time. You'll have my warm embrace.
I need more time with Desrex, guys. Oh, God.
Tomo doesn't want any more time with Harry. That is for sure. Armeo with the chase. Bubble goes out.
Nice sidestep.
Ooh, Tomo just barely going to survive with Harry.
He's got ult coming up. He could fish if he wants.
No. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, he tried. That's a blue trinket. No fish.
No fish. No hook, line, sinker.
Speaking of fish, we do have Belveth next week. Fun times.
That was a good segue.
I mean, it was really, really off topic. No, it's not, but you can summon fishies.
Do you like fishes?
I'm allergic to shellfish, but besides that, I'm in.
Well,
as Diamond segue this back. You know what also is comes from water?
What?
Dragons.
Not bad. It's an infernal drink though, so a little bit of a complication of that.
Well, 30 seconds till this dragon. TL already have their hands on one. Again, very important that FlyQuest owns this real estate early. As if they do not, it's very easy for Harry to poke with vision. And credit to FlyQuest, they have kept it dark, but they are now down 7k gold thanks to some of the first strikes that TL have available to them, and just the raw lead they have as well. And here comes the poke.
Only landing on Kumo. Kumo going to be okay, but here comes the engage. Tidal Wave goes off, not landing on anything. Cannon Barrage going to follow suit. Now a couple more picks from the ultimate of Harry. Biding his time with his targeting, doesn't get onto Spyrax. Spyrax still full health here, goes on to Ayla. Bailout coming out from Ayla. He will not be bailed out in time. Yes, he will, because Bradley takes down Tomo. Ayla will survive in Team Liquid. Now chasing FlyQuest. Bubble will not land. Bradley will flash forward, and Team Liquid will run right into the mid lane, running down each and every member of FlyQuest Academy.
TL scaled. As Bradley's going to go down to the structure and the orange, but a little bit too much heat. As TL, man, they brought the heat to the Rift. They brought the draft to the Rift. I love this answer into Spyrax's ear. It just feels terrible for him to play into Gangplank. We haven't seen one Dream Shuffle from Spyrax. He still has ult up. I can't even tell you a point in that fight where he could have used the Emperor's Divide. As TL, the only thing that they're using to divide all TL, or FlyQuest I should say, is the ults from the Xerath, the damage from the Xerath. It's just too much for the side of FlyQuest to deal with. As, I mean, I say this, it wasn't even the Xerath this time around, it was Bradley's Gangplank. Look at this barrel setup. And Tomo, oh, the triple barrel was nasty, man. Holy smokes.
And picking up Yuji mid-air, Harry, that pop of the Q. My word. Team Liquid. And it looked like a fight that was almost going to work out for FlyQuest. It almost looked like it was going to be in their favor as all that poke was dodged out. You know, Harry was down in ultimate at the end of it. Didn't even get any damage on the Spyrax, but too far ahead and too strong as Team Liquid. Of course, Bradley with that beautiful play. Now over on the top side, setting up this split push. The rest of Team Liquid in the mid lane.
He doesn't have Baron. He actually is getting flanked here by Kumo. So Bradley could be in a little bit of trouble as not able to sidestep. Tomo's here.
Forge got another knockup. All right, good for FlyQuest. It's a lot of pressure relieved, but they still have to deal with this Baron push in the mid lane.
Well, Bradley's just TPs to top to die. Not ideal, but a couple ults were used, and Armeo is lying in wait as Tomo, that's one Xerath Q, drops him to half health. This is what I was talking about with Xerath AP ratios and how he's dangerous. As now Diamond also down to half health.
4v5.
Yeah, 2 items, 10 pages in the book for Harry, and also working towards some magic pen too. Make sure he can cut through anyone and everyone that stands in his way. Oof.
Yushi's looking for a
Oh,
flank.
wait, that's... Oh, okay. That's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Blast cone into W into E back over the wall. Nice.
Yushi was
Calculated.
thinking about following through, but not enough vision. Not enough vision. Could have gotten a Dragon's Rage on the Yon, but Yon likely to burn the flash if that was going to be the case, and likely would have been the end of Yuji following suit. So now the recall coming out from Team Liquid. As FlyQuest, a decent defense coming out of them, being able to grab Bradley over on that top side, but Team Liquid are still grabbing the inner turrets.
For sure a mistake from Bradley, TPing to his death, not able to take down that turret on the way, as Armeo betrays Harry a bit. Still, everything is nice and shiny here for TL, as look at their bank accounts.
Yeah.
Again, 10k up. Only thing that really could hurt them is Soul for FlyQuest. I don't even think that matters if it's Infernal Soul. I'm just being nice at this point. Elder, though, would. So I think that's the motivation for TL to take the next couple dragons, so Elder doesn't get to have a chance to spawn on the Rift. But, man, we said their comp scales, they have the range to deal with Azir. And boy, oh boy, are we seeing that in this one, as this Xerath has been huge. That's already a cannon barrage. Here comes Xerath.
Yeah, right on the choke point. Spyrax has to leave, only having a third of health left. Ultimate's
got a
getting
bit
popped
now.
out of Harry. Now bailing out of it. Here comes the hostile takeover, pulling Kumo in, and Kumo gets chunked away. The front line, the tank, melted like butter as Team Liquid start focusing over towards the top lane, still continuing their siege. Spyrax couldn't even get involved in the fight. This turret is forfeit.
Man, a hell of a draft and game plan from the side of TL. It really feels like any hope that FlyQuest had to win this game was just taken out from under them. Once level 11 was hit on the side of TL, and I mean, just look at how brutal it is for Lucian Azir to play into this. As TL saves some dark tech for one of the top teams we have in Academy, and boy oh boy is it paid off in this first one, as FlyQuest just so much trouble playing into what TL has in this draft, and TL has played it beautifully.
And they're still positioning forward. Ooh, catching out Spyrax. He will get dragged into Team Liquid and slain. And with that, Team Liquid, they're not going to play this slowly. They're looking to close this out right now.
That's it. It was a good attempt. Honestly, they have to do something. Spyrax looking for stream shuffle, because if not, this happens, and oh my god.
Diamond goes down. Harry fishing with those picks. We'll get
That's
a
two.
double kill. He's going to finish this one off in style. Debuting that Dark Tech, as you had stated, Cubby. Looking so good on the Xerath. Waiting for another minion wave so they can close this out.
Bradley does donate one away, which I don't think TL wanted, as Bradley goes down. Horn. Okay.
No. You will survive the Stampede.
Tomo's at half. Just watch the cue from Harry.
No. Oh, wow. Oh, that far away, and he has to burn Flash. Also takeover, running down the middle. The final Nexus turret going down. Team Liquid kind of playing with their food right here now. Jan looking to bail out of this one. Tomo with the chase. Teleport being used. It's a flanking teleport. Armeo just turns on the Tomo. Will not take him down. Suddenly Team Liquid lose 3. Harry left by his lonesome. There's nowhere to hide underneath. Spyrax gets his revenge after being viciously poked out entire game.
All right, TL. You know, we tried on that wave. I did tease, you know, Infernal Soul could be a comeback mechanic. Infernal Soul was now in the pockets of FlyQuest. Do I think it matters that much? Honestly, no. But is it still good for FlyQuest? Yeah, it was a pretty big mistake from TL. I mean, we were calling that game done and dusted. Bradley gifted one over. Not great. FlyQuest taking them all down to the end. And we'll take down this 4th dragon, as we are still here, Desirax.
Yeah, we are still
That's
here.
surprising to me.
This game did not end.
Yeah,
we were almost at the end, but...
Oh, don't steal it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Not going to be stolen away this time. It is going to be Dragon Soul going over to FlyQuest, which, as you said, you feel like it doesn't matter too much. I'm just going to say, their last stand's coming up. Let's make it count.
It's something, right? Something. We'll take something. As taking a second look. Big part of this play, Spyrax and Kumo both TPing into the same spot. Kumo gets canceled, but hey, that's done. This is how you play against Xerath. If you come from 3 angles, Xerath can do nothing. That has not been able to happen yet for FlyQuest, but TL going a little bit deep. Does end up opening that one up to the side of FlyQuest, and TL back to business as they've gotten back out on the map, and we're just going to throw an R at Tomo and see how many he can juke.
It's like, how do you be an archer? You got to rush him point blank.
Honestly, he's got the High Noon skin, so it feels like he's in a saloon, and, you know, someone's just shooting at his feet, like, dance.
It's a little bit of a carnival attraction.
Okay, Bradley.
All right, another pick on to Bradley. That's still going to be Baron going over to Team Liquid. But these random picks going off from Bradley hasn't been his best game on the Gangplank for sure. 5-7-4.
It's the triple barrel was nice.
Like,
Notice how I
end it right there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna end it right there.
Yeah.
He had a nice triple barrel in that one team fight, Desirax.
So cruel you are, Kobe.
It's not cruel, it's honest.
Yeah, honesty.
We need some tough love sometimes around here, even for our wonderful developing academy players. As I do expect more from Bradley. I expect triple barrel in team fights. Some of the rest, not so great. But fortunately for him, I think TL's draft is pretty unlosable at this point. And the rest of TL has been playing phenomenally this game. Bradley did have his moment in that dragon fight. The rest of it hasn't been for him, but Yawn's been solid. Harry really liked the use of the counter pick here. And Armeo also early. Just making sure that things get off to a nice slow start for TL. So this comp could really come together. Because again, once they hit level 11, once they hit those later stages, what can FlyQuest do? As UG does have a small window where Harry does not have flash and is looking.
All right, UG.
But his team...
All right, UG. Make it happen, UG. Is this the big play for FlyQuest? Are you the savior of FlyQuest, UG? He's showing up right now. Here we go. Secret mission coming in. Gets the kick. It's going to be on Jan. He gets the knock-up on Jan, but Jan's going to go golden, buying some time. Tidal Wave goes out. He gets another knock-up on Jan. Payback. Oh, Jan stays alive. It takes 2 with him. And Team Liquid Honda, it was a brilliant attempt coming out of UG. All the commendments in the world for UG, but it's not enough to stop this massive gold lead that's running right down the mid lane. Team Liquid Honda will take game 1.
It was a beautiful comp, a slow game plan, and it paid off big for the side of TL as Spyrax.
Okay. Oh, he's
No
going
way.
big with this one.
No way.
No
Please
way.
no.
Spyrax already got a double kill. Health bars are low. He's
Spyrax?
going on to Harry. He jumps onto Harry. Oh my
Spyrax!
God! Spyrax will defend
What?
it with the quadra kill. FlyQuest are still in it, Cubby. What the hell?
Well, he said that Spyrax, he was 5-0 on the Azir. He wants to keep that undefeated streak going as, oh my goodness, TL. I think they're trying to end this game in fashion, but FlyQuest can't let them, as it was a beautiful engage onto Yawn. The stopwatch was burned, but what a bailout from Ayla. Again, at the right place, at the right time. Yawn trades out 2. Game looks over, but Spyrax with the heroics, man. Holy cow, the 1v4 base defense.
FlyQuest will not die. They will not lay down. They've gotten Dragon Soul somehow.
Dear
When they
Lord.
had a game-ending push on them, they had to another game-ending push. Look at this Shurima shuffle. Here we go. Hops right in, sees them all lined up. It's a strike, baby. We're going bowling. Pushes them into the respawn and cleans up a quadra kill. Spyrax. Spyrax, brother.
I mean, even if it was a strike, I mean, a bit of a split here. As he did miss Harry, but I think he got the 7-10 split at the end. He's got the 2 soldiers on each side. Just takes them down easy. Oh, man, Spyrax. His this year, again, this is really the first champion he made a name for himself for. I know he said that the boot camp he had going back to his old collegiate team, Maryville, had been a big help. Feels like he's in a healthier spot with his wrists, and now Harry, he doesn't have Flash again. That is something legitimate that FlyQuest can punish, as Call the Forge God will be back for the Elder fight. And we did tease the one way that FlyQuest can actually get back in this. It is Elder. That is actually on the table for them, thanks to a couple mistakes from TL. So we will see if FlyQuest can really punish them to the end, as it's still tough. That's a big Xerath.
That is
oh god, it doesn't get any better.
Spyrax dodged out every charge of the ultimate, only for a Q to land onto him and do that. That just feels so bad.
Again, not an easy game. This is why we were... I was saying, you know, it's very heavily TL favored. And it has been for a while. But credit to FlyQuest. They've made this interesting.
I think you're trying to caster curse them right now.
I mean, I really tried to caster curse Golden Guardians in the last game. That was the true one. This has been just, you know, more mild, but...
Oh my goodness, Tomo.
Yeah, dear lord. Xerath is big. Again, we talked about how big his AP ratios are. I think it's a good use this game, outranging everyone. As FlyQuest cannot even approach the Elder. Oh my god, they can't even get on the right side of the map.
Yeah, they got the inside
Xerath
track.
is so big.
And even Yawn, who's able to chip away over at Kumo. Harry putting in a little bit of assistance onto that.
Okay, look at Kumo. There is a ward below Elder Dragon. I'm expecting...
Oh!
Alright, well, that's one way to try and wrap this one up. There's a ward below Elder. I was hoping that Kumo would go there, but that's no jungler now for FlyQuest.
Alright, Spyrax is going to try and make the hero play. Yawn wants to deny it. Yawn gets pushed in. Tomo gets 1 kill.
What?
Another kill going down. It's a double kill coming out for Tomo. Suddenly FlyQuest at a man disadvantage are pushing away Team Liquid Honda. And Spyrax is coming on the flank. He sees Armeo. He sees Harry. He knows he needs to get there right now.
Harry's
he
in
tries
trouble.
to hop over the wall.
flash.
Gets onto Harry. Spyrax will take him down. Going onto Bradley. FlyQuest will not die. Copy.
What is this game, man? FlyQuest, the mistakes that TL are making are really, really bad mistakes. This is not something that I expect out of the top team. Like, Yawn, Ayla being split there. Harry, that execute that FlyQuest had on him is beautiful, but we've talked about the win conditions for them. How did they get back in this game? The game was doomed. Really the only way. Elder Dragon. They actually won the fight around that. They actually secured that with no jungler. It was a 4v5 with them going into that fight, and Team Liquid, they threw it. FlyQuest, they're going to get the Baron now. They actually have a legitimate chance to win this game.
Are you kidding me right now? FlyQuest are making the comeback of the year. Fighting tooth and nail. Keep in mind what happened. Their entire base was up in ruin. And somehow, someway, even with their jungler down in a 4v5, they clutch out a fight.
I mean, first off, that's just filthy from Harry. But this is where things get interesting. And again, a lot of credit goes over to Spyrax and Yawn trying to go for the 1v1 when Ayla didn't have the bailout. Again, you know, you're kind of counting on that bailout to make sure that you can maybe get enough damage to get the 1v1. So again, the best bot lane we have in Academy split around this dragon fight. And now Harry doesn't have flash. Spyrax so patient, waiting this out. Harry should never approach that wall, knowing that Spyrax is there. He should retreat to the bot lane, just try and exit, get into the fog. But because he does, it's doomed. And now FlyQuest Baron empowered creeps. That's one way to deal with all the wave clears Xerath and GP have. Baroned up, Elded up. We'll see if they can actually find a fight as, oh boy, TL's getting creative. Armeo did drop a ward.
He's got a wave.
He's going to go clear out that wave, yeah.
Oh, this is
No
big
Nexus
right
turrets.
now. Looking for the recalls.
They have Baron empowered recall, so Armeo knows. He's just here to try and throw a wrench into things. He's making things weird for the side of Fly.
You can only send those who have their teleports onto this one if they're going to continue that siege. Spyrax definitely makes sense. Yuji leaving that spot. Of course, for the 2v1 would be useful. Not as impactful when it comes to the team fights. Can be huge if he gets a good Dragon's Rage, but needs to reconvene with his team. Armeo still going to try and be a pest over on this top side.
They did get 2 bases, and they are, by doing this, they are keeping their inhibitor turret up. But Armeo shows Harry.
Going for it. Harry
Splash
flashes.
burn, that's big.
He's going to be able to back off. Here comes the Cannon Barrage. Now looking for the play is going to be Yan. Yan hops in, goes onto Kumo. Yuji biding his time. Gets Sonic Wave, doesn't land it onto Yan, only getting it onto a minion. Spyrax is now showing up. But look at Armeo. Armeo's going for the back door right now. And with it raining pain coming out from Harry, stopping a lot of those recalls. Spyrax is going to be able to rejoin though. Ultimate going to be used. Now here comes the fight. Tomo hopping in. Yuji will find one. Still looking for Yan. Yan will not fall. He'll hop right out. Kumo now onto the tower. The tower is going to go down. Teleports are now coming out. Into the base. Bradley comes. He's looking for the defense. Guardian Angel going to be popped out of Yuji. But here we go. FlyQuest are looking to close out right now. Tomo gets chunked out. Bradley positioning forward. Looking for more. Armeo trying to run away from Spyrax. Spyrax looking to hunt him down. Over the wall. Will he go? He follows suit. Armeo with the juke. Able to sidestep. Get him out of the way. And somehow Team Liquid are still in this game. A push looking to come out from FlyQuest. But Team Liquid push right on back. Now the collapse coming out from FlyQuest. They're looking for Armeo. They want to get the collapse in Armeo. You still got to keep a close eye on their base though. It has missing an inhibitor. It's missing Nexus towers. Now Spyrax going forward, looking for Bradley, gets the recall. It's not Bradley, it's Armeo. Still hops on Armeo. Armeo's going to be down. Armeo has fallen. FlyQuest are looking to close out. They will jump in. Tomo picks one. Dino Wave goes out. Call the Forge God over the wall. And Yan gets mowed right over. Spyrax destroys another one. And FlyQuest against the defending champions of Proving Grounds will bring it back from the clutches of defeat and take down Team Liquid Honda.
I do not know how FlyQuest won this game, but FlyQuest won this game, Deserex. What else is there to say? Like 2 sieges in a row. TL are not able to make it happen. Straight up heroics from Spyrax. 12-3-1 on his now 6-0 Azir. This guy refuses to lose on the champion. And TL, they had a comp completely built to counter the Azir. They did it for the first 30, 40 minutes of the game, but they could not take that final step, could not end. Too many mistakes were made in the late game team fights by TL. It's something where in that 0-2 against CLG, we saw late, if they go super late, Harry on, there were some mispositionings that happened in those late fights. That happened again here, as they got too aggressive in the late game team fights. Bradley went down too many times on his own, and all the mistakes piled up for what felt like an unlosable game for TL. Up 13k gold. No Nexus turrets left. They drop it to FlyQuest.
It felt, yeah, unlosable. That is the best way to put it. It felt so unlosable for Team Liquid. But, Cubby, you wrote the script, and you're the one that cursed them. Ultimately, I can't even put it up to memes. As much as TL slipped up, brilliant capitalization coming out from FlyQuest to make sure that those picks that they got from the missteps of Team Liquid really did amount to something. We are going to take a moment to throw it over to a short break. When we return, we'll have Pyra here. I'm out of breath. I don't want to talk anymore. I need my host. We're going to have our intermission. We'll be right back.